So this is our space, finally, the empty canvas to which we are hopefully going to build a really, really cool internal van build all ourselves, no experience, learning everything from YouTube and taking you guys along every step of the way.
Welcome to our build series, episode 1. If you're new here or it's been so long that we've talked about the truck that you've forgotten about it, here's a quick reminder. 18 months ago now, we bought an ex-army truck in England.
This here is a gun turret.
We engaged a company called Motorcraft Adventure Development Space in the north of England to build us the walls of our live space, as well as a bunch of really cool engineering elements. So this thing is hopefully fully capable in any remote location that we want to take it. The truck, whilst not completely ready, more on that later, is ready enough for us to commence our internal build. So we're now in England, where it is freezing, much cooler than the tropics of Bali. We rented this cute place while we build the truck, and today we're driving 4 hours north to collect and see our truck for the first time in a long while. Four hours or so later, we arrived at Motorcraft Adventure Developments to collect our new home. We will break down everything that they and we have and will be doing to the truck to transform it into an off-road weapon. Here's a taste of how she's looking so far.
Do you like the truck, Naya?
Yeah.
Are you shy? And now it's time to see how she drives. If you're wondering why we're not driving and who the hell this guy is
it as nice to drive as the Scania?
No, but it goes over sand dunes.
This is Duncan's uncle, Simon, an absolute legend who's volunteered to spend his entire day coming with us to collect the truck. As we haven't yet passed our heavy goods vehicle test, we're not legally allowed to drive it. And that's where Simon comes in.
Just picked up the truck. First drive off. I'm in the middle seat, which is a lot higher than the driver's seat. So Simon isn't just a midget, that is a much higher seat. And the first thing we need to do is go and fill up with fuel. So let's see just how expensive this thing is to fill up with fuel. What are we sitting on now, fuel-wise?
Less than a quarter of a tank.
Less than a quarter of a tank. So this will be our first real understanding of how much this thing's going to cost us to run when we travel around Europe. So let's see if the bank balance can handle it.
Yeah, I can see it from here.
Yeah, tank's on the right hand side. Okay, so we only got 97 litres because we went through the car one and apparently that's where they cap out. I would have never known that before, that they actually stop you filling up. So we'll head down the motorway a little bit longer and go to a proper truck one and fill up the rest of the tank. But what did 150 pounds worth of fuel get us? So that's about $300+.
Half a tank, so it's gone from quarter to a half.
Quarter to a half. So every quarter of a tank is about 150 pounds so far. That about right?
First thing we found, no cup holders.
No cup holders, so that'll be a quick addition because you can't do long road trips without cup holders. And I'm pretty sure there's no sound system as well, so if we want to listen to tunes on long drives, that'll be a very quick modification. Well, no, it won't be a quick modification, it'll be a pain in the ass to do, but it'll be much needed modification and we'll do it very quickly. She feel?
She feels good. She's brand new.
How many kilometers has she done?
She's done 724 kilometers, which is about, ridiculously, about 400 miles or something like that, 450 miles. So it literally is brand new.
And if you're wondering why, neither Sophie or I are driving this at the moment, and Simon's had to drag himself 3+ hours up and drive it back for us, very graciously of him. We have not done HGV yet. I've got my theory next week. So without Simon, the truck would have remained at Motorcraft. So he's the unsung hero of all of this. Coffee in hand. You.
So I've just driven 2,000 kilometres from the UK to Denmark. In fact, started in the west coast of Ireland, so it's another 1,000 kilometres. And that was on a 770 Scania, fully spec'd with every conceivable thing on it. And so it's a really interesting test to drive what is probably the best truck in Europe. I've just jumped out of that and jumped into this, and my concern is that this truck might be something that you couldn't drive long distances on the motorway with. But actually, we're doing 56 miles an hour in the UK, which is the maximum speed. We're doing the same speed as all the other trucks, a couple of them are going by, but we're cruising easily. And the big difference is that the steering is not nearly as precise as the Scania because of the huge tyres, and they're high profile, very spongy for off-road use. So the steering is a little bit, or a fair bit more vague. And the other big thing is that it's quite bouncy and stiff as suspension. So the Scania has full air suspension on all axles, and the cab is air suspended, and the seats air suspended. So you feel very little through the road.
I can tell you, I can see it bouncy because on the camera I'm trying to hold you in frame, yeah, and it's bouncing around. But to put it in context, this truck is 36,000 pounds base without all the modifications and everything added to the back, and the Scanias start at
225,000, and then we may spend about another 50,000 on them as well. So there is no comparison, and obviously the Scania would be stuck in the first sand dune where this wouldn't. So they're built for different things, which we appreciate, but I am amazed how adaptable it is to a fast dual carriageway road that we're on now. I thought it would be a lot worse than this. For me, the huge difference is the revs. So we're doing nearly 2,000 revs at 56, whereas the Scania is doing 990 revs. So the engine revs are twice what they would be on one of these modern long distance trucks. And so that's another huge difference for somebody that jumps out of a modern truck that's been geared up correctly for economy.
It was super late by the time we all got back. The guys literally dropped the truck at Simon's yard where we're going to be building it out. I picked them up and we all hit the hay ready for day one of truck building tomorrow. In the next video, we'll move the truck into position in the yard, show you around our new home, why we picked the MAN HX60 for our base vehicle, what Motorcraft have done to her already, what's left to do, and most importantly, what we have planned for the interior. As you know, we have zero experience, and we're hoping to do as much of the interior fit out as possible ourselves. So stay tuned, and of course, hit the subscribe and notifications buttons if you haven't already. We'll see you then.